So for a PPC, I already said a PPC is a graph that shows the maximum of combination of goods or services that a country and economy can produce if all resources are fully utilized. So it means that we won't be talking about what you can produce as an economy without you fully utilizing your resources. So look at the graph now. We have consumer goods and capital goods. Are you there? What are consumer goods? We said consumer goods are goods that are purchased by households, items, items that are to be consumed. Then capital goods are investments of businesses. That means goods that will help to produce other goods. These are capital goods. So this is an economy that can produce both consumer goods and capital goods if all resources are fully utilized. So look at point A. At point A, it can produce 16 million of consumer goods at point A. So if 16 million consumer goods are produced, then it will produce zero capital goods. You see, at point A, if 16 million consumer goods are produced, it means that that economy would not be able to produce any capital goods. That's point A. I think point A is clear. Then let's go to point D. Look at point D. At point D, this economy will be able to produce 8 million capital goods at 0 unit of consumer goods. So if this economy wants to produce fully in its full capacity consumer goods, it will not be able to produce capital goods. If it wants to produce full capacity of its consumer goods, it will not be able to produce full capacity. It will not be able to produce capital goods. I think that is clear. So the opportunity cost of producing consumer goods to the maximum level in this economy is what the capital goods have not been produced. The opportunity cost of producing capital goods to the maximum in this economy is the opportunity cost is the consumer goods that will not be produced. I think point A and B is clear. Now let's go to point B. At point B, consumer goods can be produced at around 14 million. So if consumer goods, the combination here, there's a combination of consumer goods and capital goods. So if consumer goods are to be produced in this economy combined with capital goods, this economy will be able to produce 14 million consumer goods and 4 million capital goods. Is it clear? That is at point B. Then at point C, this economy will be able to produce 8 million consumer goods and around 7 million capital goods. Do you get that? Okay. Then we go to we've talked about point A, point B. Now point C, we talked about point C now, right? 8 million consumer goods at the same time producing 7 million capital goods. Then point F. At point F, this economy will be producing 8 million consumer goods and 4 million capital goods. But at this point in time, resources are not fully utilized. Do you know why resources are not fully utilized in this point F? Do you know why? Resources are not fully utilized in point F because it is inside the PPC. It is inward. The PPC is out. So it is inside the PPC. So if it's at point F, it means this economy has not fully utilized its resources. There are some resources that are unemployed. That is why it's providing or it's producing inside the PPC. Do you understand point F here? It's producing at 8 million and 4 million. The combination is 8 million consumer goods, 4 million capital goods. But at this point in time, this economy is not fully using its resources. That's why it's producing inside or inward the PPC. Is that clear? So for every economy, an economy should aim at producing at point A, point B, point C, and point D. If an economy is able to produce between point A, B, C, D, it means the economy is doing well. It has used all its resources. Do you get the point there? So as an economy, what do you have to do? You have to push your production so you can be between point A, B, C, and D. Okay. At point E, what happens to point E? At point E, the economy will be producing 12 million capital goods, right? and the combination of 12 million capital goods and 7 million consumer goods. But this is not attainable. It is not possible. Do you know why it's not possible? Because the economy will be producing more than what it has. It doesn't have the capacity. That's why it's outside the PPC. So the economy is, if the economy has to produce at point E, it means the economy is producing more than its available resources, which is not going to be possible at that point in time. So for an economy to produce outside the PPC, it needs to increase its resources. Do you understand? But at this point in time, it is impossible for an economy to produce at point E. Okay. Do you understand? Point F, the economy is not fully utilizing its resources. Point E, the economy, it's saying that the economy is producing above, more than its resources. How can you produce more than your resources? Is it possible? It's not. It's not possible. You have to produce with your resources. Do you understand the combination here? Is the PPC clear now? So for an economy to fully utilize its resources, it has to aim, it has to push to produce at point A, B, C, and D. Is it clear? So this is all about PPC.